Hello and welcome. I'm Dinesh Karthik and I'm going to be discussing day 2 of the test match between India and West Indies. A day that was completely dominated by the Indian openers. Rohit Sharma notching up his 10th 100, second overseas. Yashasvi Jaiswal getting 100 and is still batting as we speak, and he's done a fabulous job so far. The Indian batters showing why they're so good on pitches which aid spin. They've batted really well so far, trusted their defense, did everything right on this pitch. We'll be discussing all of that from India's point of view, but also the West Indies point of view. Just 2 wickets to fall out of that one picked by Ali Katnes, who is not even a full-time bowler. And that's a sad state of affair, bowling a whole day on a pitch that aided spin but still not getting enough wickets. We will discuss a lot of that more in detail. India started their day at 80 for no loss. The openers had done really well yesterday and they just continued, kept going. They batted beautifully throughout. They started very cautiously. Interestingly, up until lunch, they just got the 4 boundaries. The West Indian bowlers bowled pretty attacking but kept things tight as well. I think Indian batters did a good job in making sure they didn't lose their wicket. And post that, in the second session, both of them got their tons. Rohit Sharma getting his 10th 100, batted really well. But it was Yashasvi Jaiswal, the debutant, who in fact got his 100 first. He is batting on another planet in many ways because he's very solid in his defense. Rakeem Cornwall actually troubled him quite a bit in the morning, but he went through that phase, made sure he didn't give his wicket away, and then when the opportunity came, he pounced on it. Alzari Joseph in the second session tried a bit of that bouncer plan, which a lot of the international teams are trying, even though it was a dry pitch, and both Rohit and Yashasvi Jaiswal found a way just to counter it and kept going. They had a 229 run opening partnership. It's the last time a 100 partnership happened, it was in Centurion between KL and Mayank, and that feels a long time ago, 22 innings ago. Generally, we're used to our batters scoring a lot more, the openers doing well for us, and it was great to see Rohit and Yashasvi Jaiswal forge a partnership, and looks like it's the beginning of something special when it comes to an opening partnership for India. When it came to West Indies, the bowlers, have to say Rakeem Cornwall looked the best, but sadly for them, just before lunch, he felt rather very uneasy, had to leave the field, and then it was said that he had infection and couldn't participate further bowling in the first innings. And that's a big blow for them because he looked like the guy who could get wickets for West Indies, and with him not being there, Captain Craig Brathwaite tried all his bowlers, 9 of them, 9 bowlers, not much work. 1 wicket for Ali Katnes, who got Rohit Sharma soon after his 100, and the other one, Jomal Warrican. Shubman Gill batting at 3 for the first time, didn't really get going, was a tough knock for him. Just got the 6 runs and edged one to Gully, and that was the second wicket to fall. But other than that, before that and after that, it was pretty solid from India basically. They batted really well. Virat Kohli didn't get a boundary for the longest time. Close to 70 balls he batted before he got his first boundary. That's how cautious and how steady he was with his approach. Player of the day, Yashasvi B. Jaiswal. We all need to remember the name by Sir Ian Bishop's words. I think he's going to turn out to be a very, very special player. I have no doubt about it. He's got the shots, he's got the range, he's got the temperament, he's got the hunger. And that's what's going to make him really special. I remember having a conversation with him in Goa during Vijay Hazare Trophy. Not his best times then, wasn't getting too many runs, had a few doubts, but I think post that he's just transformed into something really special. He's done well in Ranji Trophy, he's done well in Rest of India matches, he's done well in Dilip Trophy, gets an opportunity in IPL, and this year he's shown why he was so good, batting at the strike rate that he did for Rajasthan Royals and also helping them cross the line when it mattered. A very special player. Now, Test cricket, on debut, gets 100, bats the whole day, shows his temperament, shows his class. What I really liked about him, what stood out for me was Rakeem Cornwall troubled him a lot, but he didn't do anything silly, didn't play any false shot, just trusted his game, and that is what is going to make sure that he's going to become something special because he's got clarity, he knows what sort of pitches, what sort of shots you could play, and within his game plan he made it happen, and that is what is so special about him. West Indies started the day well. They bowled tight, they bowled to a plan. As we said, they didn't give runs on both sides of the wicket. The fast bowlers kept it tight. But this is where the class of Rohit Sharma and Yashasvi Jaiswal playing his first test came through. They didn't do anything silly. They didn't have to. They'd already gone past West Indies' score. All they needed to do was make sure that they don't lose wickets in the first session. They trusted their defense. They put away just 4 boundaries in the first session, and some were full balls and they put away really well. But other than that, you have to say credit to the Indian batsmen for making sure mentally they knew what needed to be done in West Indies. Now, this is the attitude that they should be taking across in the bigger games, and I think they also are aware of that. But the quality of the bowlers and the pitches is what sometimes troubles the Indian batters, and that's where West Indies lack the quality. You can look at Craig Brathwaite and ask what could he have done, but then he used 9 bowlers throughout the day. In the first session, he threw few cards and tried everything he could. Not much happened, things didn't go their way, and what made it worse was the fact that Rakeem Cornwall wasn't available after the first session. Really put a dent to a lot of his plans, I'm sure, because he looked like the guy who was going to get at least a couple of wickets, if not more. Warwick kept things tight, picked up the odd wicket with Shubman Gill's wicket, but he couldn't run through the side, whereas Rakeem Cornwall had the skill set to do that, but he wasn't available. Do you think Rohit has underachieved in Test career, given his talent, or are his white ball heroics too big for fans to expect same in Tests? Anurag Prabhu has asked this question. Mr. Anurag Prabhu, first of all, I think we have to celebrate the white ball player that Rohit Sharma is, and looking at the question, I'm pretty sure you're a massive fan of Rohit Sharma. Now, when it comes to Test cricket, he had one of the best starts ever. He got 100 in his debut, got 100 in his second game as well. That was Sachin's last Test, if I remember. And it looked like he was just going to take off from there, but things didn't go according to plan. And when I spoke to him, he said sometimes he put pressure on himself, sometimes things didn't work out. He just felt that he gave it all, but things didn't work out, and that's how life is. But when he got the opportunity to come back as an opener, now he's done well in ODI cricket, opening the innings. He's taken that confidence and said, I'm going to go back to Test cricket and just play the way that I want to play. In England, he said his plan was to leave as many balls as possible. He didn't care even if he didn't score 1 run, but he just wanted to leave. Now that speaks about the mindset, the clarity, and I think that is where Rohit Sharma has really developed as a batter. I think the clarity when it comes to Test cricket, arguably you could say it is one of the strongest suits right now among the 3 formats. He's batting so well in Test cricket, been so consistent, even through a lull for a lot of the Indian batters. Rohit Sharma has probably topped the charts in terms of run making, and shown in the back end of his career, he's making his Test career, he's rather making his scores matter a lot for the Test team, and that is something that is very important to him. What does West Indies need to do to forge their way back into the Test match? Honestly, I don't think there's a way back for them in this Test match. And it started before the Test match, I feel. Why? The pitch. Their strength is fast bowling, but they've given a pitch which is aiding spin. Why? I think that's a question the players should ask. The groundsmen, or probably they're not in sync, God knows what, but this Test match, there is no way West Indies can come back in this Test match. The only chance for them is if rains come through and the rest of the next 2 days rain and there's a draw. I think a draw is as good as a win for them, and that's what they'll be hoping. Somewhere weather comes in the picture, and then when they get their opportunity to bat again, they try and bat as long as possible. What does India need to do? India need to do nothing different. We are 312 for 2 at the end of second day's play, ahead by 162. I think when India reaches a score of around 450, which would mean that they've got a lead of 300, that's when they would start thinking about when they need to declare. And this is just the third day that's going to be tomorrow. There's a lot of time in this Test match. There is no hurry. I think the Indian batters need that volume of runs under their belt so they can bat as long as they want, tire the West Indians, and make sure that in the second innings when they come, Ashwin and Jadeja will do their thing again, and they hope that they will be able to get West Indies all out very early.